Right now we're just waiting for Devin Townsend to join the room, and
Absolutely.
we'll be on our way.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are watching, what were your thoughts on the last game, and what do you think will happen in the next game in terms of bans, picks, general strategies that might work?
Alright, well, here we are in the picks and bans again. We're seeing that Mr. Opportunity is the first pick, picking out the bans. They are once again banning out that AP Cog Mom mid, making sure that the purple team does not have that. And once again, Vigar being banned against Devin Townsend. Hecarim now going down, and Leona. They are not wanting to see Hecarim. Interesting, Hecarim's coming from the blue team. I think they were afraid of the first pick coming out from the purple team of being a Hecarim. But they are banning that support Leona out. They do not want that bot lane snowballing quite as hard as they did last game.
I'm surprised they didn't ban Vayne that game, given how well she performed last game.
I think their issue is that they thought that the Leona was making the plays by just catching the Sona out, and but we are seeing, in lieu of Leona, we are seeing a Blitzcrank pick, which is actually a surprise to me. Knowing Mr. Opportunity myself, I have not seen him play Blitzcrank a whole lot. He may have just been practicing him for the tournament here as a surprise pick for everyone. So, not entirely certain if the Leona ban is going to curb that snowball out of bot lane with another huge aggressive bot lane support coming out. Although we are seeing the AD carry now picking an Ezreal, someone with a nice jump to be able to avoid that Blitzcrank hook. But it wasn't necessarily Caitlyn that was getting caught last game. It was looking like it was more Sona, so we're going to have to see if she will be able to... we will see the support that she picks and see if it will be able to deal with that Blitzcrank.
It looks like they're doing a switch here. Spike is their top laner, just to clarify. He's not doing top lane and Moo most likely. Although,
well, it would be terribly interesting if he did.
Yeah, it is a thing. It's not a particularly useful thing that I have seen, but it is a thing. Ambush for the jungle Cho'Gath. He's looking to do some buff control, objective control.
Ladies and gentlemen, I must remind you, playing in the game once again, do not be in the stream. You can see opposing team summoner spells when you cannot do that normally. You cannot be in the stream while your match is occurring.
What Mr. Grizzly here, Austin, has said, if you are, I can't really check, but if you are watching the stream and you are also participating at the same time, for fairness' sake, could you please close out? We're looking at you, Spike. And that is my cell phone. Procrastinating. And it looks like these picks are still going. And
right, and we see from the blue team now they're taking, instead of taking
I would expect
Vayne.
a Soraka pick, personally.
I didn't pick up fast enough.
Apparently you didn't.
I blame your phone.
Yeah, we are seeing Sona once again being picked, which may be
Oh
a...
god, here we go, the
interesting
Teemo pick. Spike is bringing out the big guns. Spike is well known for being a Teemo player within UC LoL. And,
We did see his Jace doing quite well that game. He was dangerously close to carrying the game for his team, and if he's even better at Teemo than he is at Jace, then that could bode very, very well for his team.
I do believe Jace was a very new champion for him. I don't think he's played him for a terribly long time. Teemo, however, has played that champion for days and days and days.
We are seeing Swain and Zed. Not certain. Well, no, there's definitely not going to be a swap there because they're not going to be. They're in the same pick. There's no reason for them to swap with one another. But so it looks like if they do remain in their positions, that Zed will be going mid and Swain will be going top against the Teemo, and that's quite interesting there to say the least. We know that Zed is a very strong mid and can definitely cause some damage to most of the squishy AP mids that follow the meta.
Right, how can I see the viewers here? Viewer list. Alright. Spike, you are still viewing the stream, as well as Amanda. For fairness' sake, could you please get off the stream? Alright, I will be right back.
I'm filling in for just a moment. Hi, Luke.
How's it going?
Pretty good. I just couldn't get enough of you after that last stream.
And we are seeing the Xerath is being locked in for the purple team. So we will be seeing Xerath against Zed. Maybe it may be a safe choice considering that Xerath has a long range, but if Zed is able to come down on him with the with that ultimate, we may be seeing. It'll be an interesting lane. I feel like Zed could definitely snowball against that Xerath, but if Xerath is able to keep him at arm's length, he may be able to stop him from getting kills in lane.
I would definitely have to agree with you there. And he might have another advantage against him, especially with the stun that he has. Xerath with the chains, and his ultimate being able to be used multiple times. He could just bully Zed. As soon as he hits 6 and he has enough mana to do whatever he wants, he would bully Zed all day.
Right, but what is going to be the crucial part there is he's going to have to make sure that Zed does not get the ability to close in on him, because that could just be catastrophic for him there.
Agreed.
And interesting to note, with the last game, we are seeing, once again, against the aggressive bot lane, we are seeing a Sona pick once again. Hopefully her positioning will be good enough this time that she does not get hit by the pulls like she was getting hit by the Zenith Blade, or we could see a repeat of what happened in bot lane last game, except with Blitzcrank in lieu of Leona.
I do agree with you there. I personally think after having that happen, we'll definitely see a much more passive Sona, good lord, Sona, which could be a huge advantage to the purple team, especially with Ezreal being able to pretty much get in and get out whenever he pleases.
Right, and also interesting to note, could be very scary initiating from purple team there with the combination of the Amumu ult and the Sona ult, which will be followed up by the Ezreal ult. And even Xerath has a good amount of AoE. Could see that tipping things in their favor during some team fights. They just have a massive amount of AoE initiating.
Indeed. I think that we'll see a lot of pressure this time from blue. We'll see much more map pressure with Spike having the mushrooms up everywhere. We have the global ult from Ezreal, if he can hit it. Sona with the lockdown, Amumu with the lockdown, and just the pure AoE damage from Xerath. I think we'll see a much stronger purple team this round.
Yeah, and hopefully they will be able to get a little bit of control in the game and just not let it slip through their fingers during the early game again. That really was their problem last time. They had a few good fights during the middle there, but just they were at too much of a disadvantage after the early game, and it just came to bite them.
Indeed. Looking at blue team though, while I've seen a lot of the... I caught quite a bit of the game when I saw it. On blue team though, I think that they have the skill, but I'm also a little concerned about just the combinations. Of like the ability combinations. Because while we see some evident combinations, such as Swain if he can get the lockdown, and then Cho'Gath knockup, and then obviously the hook with Caitlyn and just the damage. In a grand scheme of things, in a team fight, I don't know if they have enough combining skills to really benefit them.
Although what they do have is, if you look between having they do have a good amount of CC, and if you look at how they do have the Zed ultimate and the Cho ultimate, if they get someone locked down, they could basically instantly kill them between those two ultimates. There's just so much burst damage there that I think that they could focus down pretty much any carry that they wanted to immediately, as long as they get a lock on them.
Very true, very true. They have to be very careful to not get caught by Mumu or Sona.
And thinking about that, the blitz hook could lead directly into that. You know, if someone gets pulled in by blitz and then just Zed ulted and Cho'Gath ulted, they would just be absolutely done, leaving their team at a disadvantage.
Agreed. See, another thing they have to be, though, very careful with thinking about bot lane, especially when things go 6. While Blitzcrank does have his silent... My apologies. Well, Blitzcrank does have his
I see
silent.
Garrett is hiding in a bush outside your house over there.
Well, you know, I didn't want to say anything. He was really comfortable there. But all I hear is Demacia, Demacia, Demacia.
Which is what we've come to expect from Garrett.
Yes. But as I was saying, something that could be very dangerous if she gets it off in time. Blitzcrank, if Blitzcrank gets the hook on Sona, she could potentially ult post 6, which would lock down Caitlyn long enough for an Ezreal burst.
Right, that is true. The blue team will be in a little bit of danger after level 6, considering that the ultimates coming out of Sona and Ezreal are just a little bit stronger than the ultimate combination from Blitzcrank and Caitlyn. Although, however, if Blitzcrank were to pull the Sona and have his ultimate available, he could alter and stop her from counter-engaging that. And that would be followed up by the Caitlyn damage, and we'd probably see Sona go down before the silence was over.
That is a high possibility. Now we have to look at, as people have discussed before, we have to look at the most important battle, and that's the skin battle. And I have to give it to purple.
Right, there is a clear advantage on the purple team. They do have the 3 skins, while
and one of those skins
blue team
is
only
Sad
has
Robot
one
Amumu.
single skin.
It is Sad Robot Amumu, let's be honest here.
And, well, we do have to give blue team some credit. The one skin that they do have is Tyrant Swain, which does say a lot just in and of its own. But Sad Robot Amumu, it has to be considered, it's at least equal to or greater than the Tyrant Swain, especially after that epidemic when the Sad Robot was first released, where his laughter was global.
Which was hilarious and annoying.
And amazing. So many players raged on that day.
Well, didn't they have a similar problem with that with Teemo and the Robot Nunu skin?
With a global laugh or taunt or something?
Yes.
I was not aware of that. I was only... I have only witnessed firsthand the Robot Amumu global laughter.
Fair enough.
I would have to agree with my friend Incendiary Spade. The global laugh on Robot Amumu is one of the greatest things that has ever happened in any game.
I'd have to agree with you, Incendiary Spade. Once again, the greatest and most annoying, and we are in the game.
Yes, the game is now loaded.
Let's see if I can get this nice and fixed.
Now, last game we did not see any invades. We'll see with the team compositions that we have if we will see any invades coming out of either side. We do see the mid and top laner going straight through into the bottom lane. They may be trying to get a little bit of an invade, try to get an early kill here. All of blue team, all going in the same spot. So we see Teemo and Purple going to that top tower. I do not believe that he's going to try to partake in any sort of invasion. So blue team may be catching purple team off guard here.
It is possible, but they have to be very careful with that. With everyone's low amount of health, that could turn around incredibly quickly, especially with just whatever ability. Oh, the game has been paused.
We do see a game pause. Somebody's probably having some sort of issue.
I'll take this time to announce that something came up for me, so I will not be continuing the shoutcast this game. Austin will be taking over from me.
All right, well, there you have it.
Howdy, howdy.
Thank you very much, Austin, for being a trooper.
Yep. Anytime, my friend. Anytime.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Anyhow, as I was saying before, they have to be very careful with that invade, if they even choose to invade. But what I'm honestly thinking is they're going to gimmick them. They're going to do a pretty much level 1 5-man gank on bot. Is what I'm kind of leaning towards.
Well, that may be what's going on here, because we are not, with the minions spawning, we aren't seeing anyone. They're not moving into the jungle, and they're not going back to move towards any of the ends. Although here they go now, they are moving in. I don't know why I didn't think about this before. They do have the Blitzcrank. They might be trying to just pull the buff over the wall, but here they are going straight into the blue pit. And we see Ezreal immediately flashing out.
And Mumu getting caught by the grab.
Immediately hit on Mumu. Mumu's running away, gets ignited, and is done.
That is first blood, and they're probably going to try and take that blue buff.
Right, and it's going to be a pretty safe steal on that blue buff. The enemy jungler is down, no smite available, so that is already a quick advantage going out to the blue team.
Now we're heading towards the lanes.
And as Bearcat Golfer did say, that is going to be huge for Mumu. Not having his blue buff is going to make his clear much more difficult.
Yes, Mumu is one of the more blue-heavy junglers. Like, he has to have blue or else his game can be ruined very hard. And we see Swain and Cho'Gath going to secure their blue right now, which is the smartest move they could possibly make. Because if Mumu could pick up that blue, that would just change the tide immediately.
I'm interested in seeing whether they're going to give the blue to Swain or if they're going to give it to Cho'Gath for his experience. And it looks like Cho'Gath's backing up, so it is going to be going to Swain, which is going to make that lane much, much more difficult for Teemo to have to try to deal with. And we see Blitzcrank and Caitlyn doing their thing, both very strong in lane, and bullying the crap out of the purple team, denying them farm, and just making them have a general miserable time down in that bot lane.
Honestly, I'm surprised that Cho'Gath didn't hang out and split the experience with Swain just to make that jungle pressure that much worse, giving him even a high, just forcing the higher level on Amumu. And I understand giving it mostly to Swain because that is now going to make life just awful for Teemo up top. But it's an interesting way to choose, the way to go.
We do see Cho'Gath looks like he may be heading towards top lane or mid lane, or he may be going into the jungle. Does he have his smite up?
Try and push Amumu back even farther, trying to get the red buff, but Amumu's heading there right now as well.
Yeah, we're going to see the junglers meeting up at the buff.
And he's going to wait for it. He's definitely doing the right thing. Amumu not checking that bush first.
He's going to wait for Amumu to get really low, and then he's just going to come in there and give him a little surprise. Amumu's smiting a little bit too early. That's probably going to cost him, although Cho did not take the buff. Amumu may just make it out there with the red buff. He's at very, very critically low health. We do see the rupture going off. He's extremely low right now. Flash from the Cho'Gath.
But
it's not enough. Cho'Gath
taking
turn
many tower shots.
This may get turned back around on him if Xerath can come in there and go after him, but it looks like Cho and Amumu both are going to be trying to back off from that. A little bit of a failure on Cho's part. He's going to be losing a little bit of experience from that, and he did not get to steal the buff, although he did force Amumu to go back to base right after taking that buff.
So I honestly didn't see Xerath going and trying to help that. He had his problems of his own, instead forcing that to tower. And I find it interesting that Cho'Gath is choosing not to go back. He went back into the jungle, got the big wraith, trying to get some health. And now he's heading back to his own jungle, trying not to fall behind and make that gap even larger between him and Amumu.
And we see Zed just being a bully in mid. Xerath probably thought that the long range was going to be enough to help him deal with Zed, but it's looking like that's not the case. And we also see Xerath kind of running low on mana, while Zed is energy based and is not having any trouble there whatsoever.
Coming to the top 4 game, trying to do all he can to not use the Vantage Grab until the very last. And I do.
Mumu coming on his Swain, but
burn his flash.
Very good Nevermore and a flash there, just barely saving Swain's life. So a successful gank from Amumu, which is definitely going to help his team out. Even though he's so far behind, he was able to help.
See, I've heard a lot of people not feeling Swain so much this season, but I've honestly found him to be very strong top lane just for the fact that he can do those escapes.
Well, he's got good TC, he's got good sustainment. You can see his Sona getting pulled by the Blitzcrank, being knocked out. She's low on mana. She does have her flash up though, and it's not followed up, but Sona is critically low with no mana left. One more
Cho'Gath
step
coming
like
in
that
mid.
and she could be done.
Cho'Gath gang came in the mid, nothing really happened from it, but it is forcing Xerath to go back, which will give Zed free roam of that lane.
We see Mumu moving in towards the bot lane. It is pinked by the blue team, though, so they will be seeing a Mumu coming in there. Whether or not they'll be able to escape quickly enough is a different question. He does get hit. He hits the Yordle snack trap. Gets pulled by Blitzcrank. Needs to flash out of there. It was a very good move by the blue team. The Mumu just not paying attention enough and getting hit by that Yordle snack trap. We also see Swain doing a good amount of harass up in top lane onto that Teemo. Although Teemo is shoving the lane hard against Swain and is outfarming him by just a little bit.
And honestly, if they wanted, going back to what happened just now in bot lane, if they want to gank bot lane, Teemo is going to have to be not Teemo. Mumu is going to have to be very careful when going in there. He's got to watch out for those cupcakes because they will ruin him.
Everybody loves cupcakes.
Everybody loves cupcake traps. Devane, if you're watching, that's for you.
You see a Blitzcrank pull going out, hooking a minion, not really doing a lot. Although Sona did go back in bot lane, so she is going to be at a little bit of a level disadvantage compared to the other people in bot lane. Ezreal is still very, very afraid of that Blitzcrank and Caitlyn. Caitlyn is getting quite the farm lead on Ezreal, already 12 creeps ahead of him with the assist from earlier. We do see Ezreal gets pulled, gets knocked up, fails the E there, but flashes out and taken very low by Ace in the hole, but it's not going to be enough to take him out.
They're not going to be willing to dive that tower.
I do not think they'll be trying to dive that, although that was a very close build over Peacemaker. They're just missing that.
Moments like that make you go, oh god. Oh, Mumu missing the bandage grab. Swain hitting the ult, trying to get a little bit of lifesteal, trying to force him off.
Mumu looks like he's, that's another time that he's getting top. It looks like he's trying to get an advantage there for the Teemo, trying to get the Teemo main fed. You see blue team with 3 bodies up there now, looking like they wanted to do a counter gank, but Mumu and Teemo just backed off, so there's really not a lot they can do there. We do see Zed coming in behind Xerath, getting the ultimate out, getting the ignite, and the second tick of the ultimate goes very low, and it looks like
Xerath just barely making it out of there.
It.
Zed taking a huge amount of damage, but Zed did get the advantage in that one. He popped Xerath's flash and his barrier. So next time that happens, that could be a very dead Xerath.
Though it is fair to say that Zed did blow his own flash and ignite, so he will be missing that ignite advantage in the next fight. We see Cho'Gath and Mumu fighting over that big rate, but Cho'Gath does take it, and they both walk away. Not really wanting to do much more after that.
Teemo just barely escaping top lane from Swain. Getting hit by the ultimate and... why'd I just forget the name of that? When he has the bird shoot the laser. Someone help me, I'm bad.
Laserbird.
What is it?
It's commonly known as Laserbird.
Yes, Laserbird. That's exactly what it's called. Laserbirding Teemo to death. Laserbeak, if anyone's a Transformers fan.
Well, I mean, just like it's just like Incendiary Spade did say before. Well, many people do commonly believe that Swain's snare is called Nevermore. Everybody really knows that the true name of it is Never Move.
Fair. Now, if we go and look at the gold, we're almost at 1,000 gold differential, but I feel like that could be easily made up. And Mumu has got to help with that. He's got to get back in the jungle.
Well, really, the major... Oh, we do see the teleport coming down to the bot off of the Teemo. He's coming after Blitzcrank, getting a little bit of damage off. We see the bandage pull connecting on Blitzcrank. Mumu going down, but a rupture hitting him. Mumu getting pulled directly under the turret, and that is a failed gank on the purple team there. Teemo coming in, trying to make some things happen, but Mumu dying for it. And we see Zed is coming down. He's looking like he's going to want to try to take out these squishies. Xerath coming right behind him. Zed is now ignited. Getting ultimate down on Teemo. Second tick isn't going to be enough. No, it is not.
And Xerath just saving his teammates by stunning a couple people. Mainly Zed, and that was honestly the best they could really do. It was a good call by Xerath to come in there. Very dangerous, but he did get the save off. He did help push them off and let them get back behind tower. Otherwise, that could have gone very, very bad for purple.
Yeah, there was a lot of crazy stuff going on there, a lot of damage going down, but really only Amumu getting taken down there. Very close hook by Blitzcrank, but not enough to get that Sona. We do see the Piltover Peacemaker connecting, though, bringing Sona extremely low. It's very dangerous for her to still be down here. Caitlyn is going to have Ace in the hole up very soon. The turret is down, and they're going to go... Yeah, they go in for the Sona. They do get her. Ezreal is forced to run away. It looks like he's going to be safe, though. And that is the first turret down. And once again, we see the blue team's bot lane is just starting to take that advantage and run with it.
Spike setting up his mushrooms everywhere. All team of players do.
Interesting to note that Teemo is now at a 2-level disadvantage to Swain.
Well, I think part of that's due to the roaming of Teemo. Teemo needs to start hanging out more so in his lane until he can push that tower down and he has the clear advantage.
Very close bandage toss on his head. Not making it. That could have been a big play, but just not close enough.
See, Zed is an excellent choice to go against Amumu just because of the mobility that Zed has and his ease to turn ganks around very quickly.
We do see Zed taking a lot of harass out of there from Xerath. Really not in a happy place. We see Amumu getting ready to try to make another bandage toss, but he was seen by a ward on blue team, so Zed is not going to be making any risky calls there.
Oh, Teemo is
getting caught by Never Move, followed up by
Laserbird.
Laserbird and Ignite, and that is going to be it for Teemo. Although we see Amumu coming in to try to follow up after that. Getting hit, but Swain did not look to be doing a whole lot of damage. But Swain giving him a lot of sustain. Amumu's trying to close in on him, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. The Swain sustain is just going to keep him alive, and he may be getting a kill on Amumu, but Amumu just got out of there a little too fast.
Swain creep blocking. And I should have gone back down to Xerath. I did not see that he was at that low health. I thought he was getting out. My apologies, people watching the stream.
I can go back for us real quick and see what exactly happened to Xerath. I believe what happened was, yeah, we see the bot lane did come up. Xerath was trying to run away around the Wraith camp, but Blitzcrank just makes a big hook on him, and followed up by the Zed with the ultimate, and that just took Xerath out completely.
Now we do see blue team taking the dragon, and they are going to be able to do that and Caitlyn and Blitzcrank trying to head their way back down. They want to go through the jungle, see if they can get somebody, but they are going to be seen by wards. Sona and Ezreal got to get out of there. Blitzcrank coming in, just
going nowhere. Sona ult going in a last-ditch effort to save yourself, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Now, 3 members of blue in bot lane. Shogath hanging out, but he is going to be in ward vision, and they are going to be able to see you as soon as he escapes. Or leaves, not escapes, my apologies. Blitzcrank having to return to base, having sustained quite a bit of damage there. And being
Xerath is coming in here, he's looking to try to do something. He does see that, he does see Caitlyn there, he stuns her, but he does not follow up. Too afraid of blue team coming in their background. He did bait out her barrier though, so that's a little bit good for him. Not really much use for Caitlyn coming out of that barrier there. We just see Teemo just eating the harass in Swain. Still 2 levels behind. Teemo's not having a good time up in that top lane.
So, honestly, the blue golem, really did help with that experience.
You see Zed coming down and ulting on Ezreal after taking with the Q. It looks like the second pick in the Ignite is going to be enough to take him out. Probably a bad move on Ezreal, just blatantly walking towards Zed and just not really thinking about the instant kill damage that Zed does have against squishy carries.
And Blitzcrank just missing a grab on Xerath just a moment ago. And back mid, I honestly don't know how safe it is for Xerath and Sona to be there right now. And Mumu seems to be heading towards top.
See, coming out on the Teemo. Swain is trying to turret that with the ultimate and the extra damage from his abilities, but he's just not going to have enough to take out Teemo. Going to be backing up. We see a Mumu closing in up there on Swain. Swain may be in some danger. Teemo may finally be getting a little bit of repeat. We see the Mumu coming down. We see a Teemo start coming. Oh, man, but the damage from Swain is just enough to take Teemo out with that damage over time.
That's why you have to be very careful with people like Swain and with, say, Malzahar, because you can have them in just right about to die. They can hit you with their dot, and they will push you down the rest of the way, turning what should have been a clean gank into a free kill.
Yeah, no one wants to die to space aids.
Tasty, tasty space aids.
We see Blitzcrank kind of just doing his own thing, running around through the... And he does get a pull-off on that Ezreal out in the middle of nowhere. You see if Caitlyn is able to follow him up. Her Ace and 8 hold does look like it is available, but a move is just in the way. Caitlyn fails the flash. Blitzcrank's taking a lot of damage here. Blitzcrank flashes over the wall. Caitlyn is banished off by Mumu, escapes with the trap. Ults on Mumu rather than somebody squishy. Teemo teleports behind Caitlyn. Sona misses her ult completely. Teemo goes and just brings Caitlyn down completely by himself, no problem. And everybody else on Purple Team getting out.
Honestly, that's a good thing for Purple Team. They need fights like that. They have got to start picking off Blue Team one by one, trying to close that goal gap, trying to increase the kills. And they need to start doing that as much as possible. They're going to have to start going through the jungle, start picking them apart, one by one, and conquer them divided. It
was interesting to see Caitlyn try to use that ultimate to pick up the Amumu kill. He had a decent amount of health left, and I thought it was just an odd choice for her to try to drop that ult on Amumu. I suppose she didn't have sight on the squishies, and that may have been the reason for it, but just not nearly enough damage coming out of that ace in the hole to take Amumu down.
No, there was not. You have to be very careful, especially with that, because let's look at Amumu really quickly. Amumu does have a fair bit of tankiness to him, just with the extra Ruby Crystal and the innate tankiness that is Amumu, and his passive that he gains.
Right, we are seeing everybody looking like they're trying to move in towards mid. Zicho trying to get a rough shot, but the shift by Ezreal is going to be just enough to stop that. Little poking going back and forth. Seems like everybody's here now. Probably about to see a big team pick it down. Kind of a lazy hook there coming out of Blitzcrank. Not really looking like it was necessarily directed at anyone. Swain trying to never move out there, not really getting anyone. Teemo though going around the back, trying to put some damage down onto Caitlyn, not really getting a lot accomplished though. That blue team is very scary and is going to make it very hard for them to initiate on that blue team.
Indeed.
We've seen an initiate there with Mumu going in with the ultimate. Mumu getting taken down. We see a Sona. I don't know if that's really hitting anybody. My client's starting to act up a little bit, not really wanting to go very quickly here. Looks like it was only Mumu that got taken down, and the rest of the blue team gets out with not very much health, especially Swain, who is definitely well under 100 health getting out of there. So just not necessarily the best play on Mumu's part. Very close to killing a lot of people on the blue team, but just not enough damage there getting out onto the blue team.
They're trying to make something happen under that middle tower, trying to push minions back, trying to put a little bit of damage onto Blitzcrank and Zed.
But they're just going to sit there and clear that wave and just not have access to that turret.
That's a very dangerous position to be in, with Blitzcrank and Zed under a turret, defending it with the grab and the ultimate.
Interesting to see on these teams, it looks like we do have a good amount of wave clear on either team, and there's really, even with the 9 kills on one team and 2 kills on the other, 20 minutes into the game, we're still only seeing 2 turrets down in total.
I'm honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm honestly surprised that Blue hasn't been trying to force for more turrets.
Well, we did see a little bit of this last game where they were just kind of happy with just slowly building up gold, slowly building a safe advantage, not really caring too much about pushing objectives, just building up on gold, taking dragons over and over, and they are taking the dragon here. Really uncontested. They didn't even need the Cho'Gath ultimate for it. And we do see Zed walking into a Teemo's room, not very healthy for him. Blitzcrank missing a pull, and the purple team scattering. They do not want to be initiated on right now, even with the blue team members fairly low after taking that dragon.
You know, and I think that's a mistake for them. I think they've got to take every advantage they can get, and without taking Blitzcrank and without taking Zed, that might be bad for them, especially if they can get that health back. It's going to be much harder for them to win a team fight.
One interesting point to make on why they may not be initiating, we do know, we see a bunch of damage going on the table, and threading the needle through the other champions, the kill hits and kills a Mumu. Oh, with that ace in the hole. We see Xerath ultimate going down though, absolutely destroying Caitlyn, bringing us, we do see a 1-for-1, that tank for an AD carry, and we see the Sona ult going down, really just not getting anyone with it. So I would say overall that was a good exchange there for the purple team. They did get the kill on Caitlyn and only lost to Mumu, but not very much coming out of that. They're going to need bigger plays than that if they want this game to win. But as I was going to say before, the reason the purple team may have been hesitant to engage on that fight is if you look on the map right now, they don't have any wards placed whatsoever. They have no sight of the blue team, they have no idea what they're doing, and they're behind, so it's going to be very dangerous for them to make any sort of call with this little vision.
With being 8,000 gold behind, there's not a lot of spare change for wards, but they have got to start getting as much vision as they possibly can. Team's got to start trimming things up, and Sona's got to start putting down wards, or else they're just going to be picked apart by Blitzcrank grabs and Zed ultimates and anything else.
Right. And even with their advantage, even the blue team just not having very many wards placed out, not certain why. Having a lot of wards placed, it could help them with their assassins like that, be able to just catch people out and make plays happen, but they're just not seeming to be too concerned about that. We do see a bunch of damage going down on Xerath. Ultimate coming out of Caitlyn, but I believe everyone else does still have their ultimate remaining on the blue team. And we do see an Oracle's out of Cho'Gath to take down the one ward that was placed by purple team, and there's another one over in the other river, but I believe they saw them place it, so it looks like Cho's going to go take that out and reduce them back down to 0 wards once again.
That's very bad for them. As I said, they have to start getting vision. Without that vision, they're going to be pulled apart even more than they are right now.
It looks like they are finally going to commence and try to take this tower, although it looks like Caitlyn very close to taking a turret hit there. Getting hit by some Xerath poke. Caitlyn's very low, not any creeps in front of her. She's probably going to back out because any initiate from that Xerath or from that Amumu could easily just take her out. It looks like purple team's making a counter push here on mid lane, knowing that the AD carry for the blue team is not going to be remaining around. They may be taking this turret for the first turret that they get in this game. You see a little bit of poke coming down from Zed, not really any damage taken out, but the purple team is backing off. They're not really trying to take that turret. They're just trying to poke down the blue team and see what they can get accomplished.
Cho'Gath, very tanky. Xerath not putting that much of a dent into him.
The only one really suffering from the poke at all is Zed. He's really not too worried about it. With the intangibility that his ult gives him, even with relatively low health, he can still go in, use his ultimate, get kills, and just shadow out. Not really too worried there. And we see the blue team grouped up once again in the mid lane, trying to get the push out. But just the wave clear on both teams is making it difficult. Ezreal getting pulled and just instantly destroyed. Not even any ultimates taken to get him out. That's going to put purple team at a disadvantage, and it's probably going to cost them their turret here.
I know they seem to be waiting a lot for just those really good grabs from Blitzcrank, but I think a problem. Oh, Sona.
Another missed ult there coming out of Sona. Ruptured coming on by Cho. A little bit more lane clear coming out. They just keep killing the creeps every time they're going through the lane. This could be a very long game here if the purple team keeps turtling the way they have. We see the move advantage coming out of the Caitlyn, but it may not be the best choice. We see damage coming down on him. Tries to run away, but the ace in the hole picks him up. Although Xerath now attacking with long range and very rapid skills on the low health carries there, like Swain, but they do get out very close to being killed, but just not enough damage there.
Just a miss.
And that turret does go down. See, the Zenobite going down onto Sona. She's just instantly killed. See Israel coming down, picking up, cutting Swain in the ankles and taking him down. Also brought Caitlyn very low there, but the blue team's going to be walking out of that pretty much unscathed with another turret taken down.
Oh, Zerkin brought in under the turret.
Knocked up, and eaten by Cho'Gath. Xerath gets caught out of position. Blitzcrank just barely living through that ignite. And flash rupture from Cho'Gath into the silence. Down goes Ezreal. Another kill for the blue team, widening the gold gap up to 11,000.
Well, I can't say blue team isn't doing well. I'm honestly surprised at the route they're going. They're just forcing it to tower, not trying to, after they force them a bit to tower, try and taking something else. Not that it's not to say it's a strategy that isn't working for them, but at the same time, I am kind of intrigued by that. Or just split pushing, because we have seen them we've seen Purple Team be able to pick them apart one by one. But at this point of an advantage, I believe they can honestly split push without too much danger.
Well, right. This is a very long game so far. It seems that Purple Team, with the Xerath, they have a lot of wave clear, so they're able to turtle very powerfully. And Blue Team's just looking like they're not trying to take any risks. They're just always trying to push with the whole team there, everybody ready, all the ultimates up, and they have been just getting the dragon over and over again, just compounding their gold advantage. And I think they're pretty happy with the game. I don't think they would care about how long the game goes as long as their gold keeps going up.
I would agree with you there. And it is a smart play. It's a smart play just to be that cautious. Because when you're that cautious, it limits the amount that you're going to die. It increases your just terrifyingness to the other team. And it wins. It wins games.
We do see Blitzcrank coming in with a speed up, trying to make something happen. He's looking like he's going to try to get a pull up. He does get Sona, gets her, knocks her up, and she is down instantly. Once again, another great initiate by Blitzcrank with that pull, getting another kill without really costing any abilities on his team. As I said before, with that Xerath, he's just going to sit there and he's going to keep trying to kill those creeps. Like, as we can see right now, there's almost no creeps still left on the tower. Teemo does flash up so that he doesn't get caught by Cho'Gath, but...
I think that was a bit of a premature flash, to tell you the truth. While I see the purpose of it, because they can tower dive, honestly, fairly easily, it might not have been warranted, and it might come back to bite Spike.
Yeah, well, he's just really afraid of the team right now. They do have a very stacked Cho'Gath right now who could possibly help them tower dive. They also have a Blitz pull that could also pull people off of the tower, so I can understand why he was scared, but it did look like the flash was for just about nothing. Yeah, at this rate we've got... It's 30 minutes into the game and we have 3 towers down, so it looks like it's going to take us another hour and 20 minutes to get those other towers out of the way.
Thank you for the math lesson, Luke. Purple team taking the first tower of the game, but Cho'Gath right on their heels. Not going to be able to stop them. And blue team forced to push that lane back out. And every lane is pushing towards purple.
Interesting, just now looking at the item builds here, we see that Teemo built a Ginsu's, or not a Ginsu's, goodness gracious. He built a Village Water Cutlass, and just went straight into the Warmogs from there. It looks like he may be trying to build for a Blade of the Rune King. He does have Berserker's Breeze for attack speed, but not entirely certain how much that that build is paying off for him at this moment. Then, of course, from Swain and Xerath, we do see the ever-popular Season 3 choices. We see the Leandries on both of them. We see on Swain, we see the Seraph's Embrace, which is actually not a bad choice on Swain. If he's using his ultimate a lot, he can stack the tier very quickly, and as we can see, he does have his Archangel Staff completely stacked, so that's going to give him a lot of mana, and then in addition to his tankiness, he's also going to have a very huge active available mana shield. And we do see the Blitzball into the Sonal, as you were saying before, could happen, and it did happen, but it just wasn't enough to really make anything happen.
Well, what I think actually happened right there was Sona hit the ult as he pulled. The ult had activated, and he wasn't even affected at all from what it appeared to be on my screen. It was just short onto him. And just a short grab trying to hit
it looks like the blue team does take the turret out, and looks like there's going to try to dive. We see the two ultimates going down onto the Teemo coming out of Zed and Caitlyn. Blitzcrank and Zed being taken out very low. Ezreal Arcane shifts in, but that was a bad idea as all the front line there just completely minced him. We're seeing so far 3 for nobody, but then Caitlyn goes down, so it's 3 for 1 so far if Amumu and Xerath can both get out, which is looking like they will do. But a successful tower dive by the blue team there.
A very successful tower dive, because they also took out Amumu's ultimate. They drew that out, and while it doesn't have a huge cooldown, that could definitely hinder Purple Team in the coming fights.
And they also did take another tower, so I guess my prediction was wrong, and we're not going to be seeing one tower every 10 minutes this game. But this is... that fight back there, it just makes things look very bad for the Purple Team, because so far they've been holding out by just wave clearing and being able to stop the push by killing the creeps, but now they're seeing that they're just going to be getting tower dough if they try to keep that tactic up. And they're also 13,000 gold behind, and it's just looking like there's not a whole lot left for them to do at this point.
Teemo doing a very smart thing there, trying to clean out the cupcake traps, just so they have a free route of escape if need be. As we can see, Cho'Gath is heading up top, trying to push that tower down. Xerath's going to try and go up there and stop him. And the rest of blue team is heading right down the middle.
As you were saying about Teemo clearing the snack traps, they are Yordle snack traps, so he is naturally attracted to the cupcakes.
Thank you, Luke. Okay, let's be honest, I would be attracted to cupcakes too. Cupcakes are delicious.
See Sona out on the wings there, almost getting caught up by a Blitzcrank pull. It would have been pretty bad for her. She probably would have died. But we do see blue team is a little bit worried about the lane being pushed down there in their bot lane. This would probably be a good opportunity for Teemo to actually make use of his teleport, which we haven't seen a lot of this game. If he were to teleport down there, he could probably take that tower out, get a second tower for his team. But we see Cho'Gath sitting here taking damage from a move and just attacking the turret, not really having very many cares in the world. We see some poke there in mid going down onto Xerath. Purple team is pushing out a little bit, knowing that the blue team tank is not there. But as I said before, Cho'Gath's just pushing away in top lane, not really caring about a whole lot in the world, farming up and just getting that lane to the tower. And once again, we see another dragon going down to the blue team, giving them even more global gold, even more of a gold advantage. And then we do see Swain going down to the bot lane to just clean up that little bit of push. Tower's not going to go down yet. Maybe in a few more waves.
Israel trying to catch up and farm there. Just drastically behind. And kept under that tower for a long time. Very hard to farm.
Yeah, Ezreal is just massively behind in gold. Behind 60 creeps and about 6 kills and 6 assists behind Caitlyn. It's gonna take a lot for him to be able to catch up to the amount of gold she has. We see Blitz trying to get a hook gold, just missing. A little bit of a heart attack moment for Xerath there.
Xerath having an incredible push. I honestly think that's just about the only thing keeping them off the towers at this point.
Xerath is just sitting there firing lines down at the waves to keep the lanes from going away. And I think that's part of the problem with the blue team this game. Last game they did have a teleport, making it a little bit easier for them to split push. And this game they do not have a teleport, and there is the Xerath there, so if they try to push only one lane at a time, they are not looking like they're going to get it. Xerath's just going to melt that wave down every time, and it may force them to try to split push a bit, which could get them caught out by purple team. Right now we're seeing the purple team kind of milling about the dragon area. They did get a ward on it. Not really a whole lot going on in this game right now. Everybody just sort of farming and waiting around.
And you know, that's not necessarily... It doesn't bring out those exciting plays where you flash, triple kill, barely escape, come back in and get your penta. But it's a smart way to play. It is a smart way to play. Try and force the other team back as far as you can. Increase your gold as much as possible, and just outbuild them, outlevel.
We see Cho'Gath going B in top, leaving it 4v5 in mid. We see blue team moving into the purple team's jungle, going and pulling that buff over the wall, taking that red buff out of there. Amumu is going to be a sad robot. We see Xerath going Super Saiyan over there, throwing a little laser out, not really doing a whole lot with it. Just more back and forth between team. We are seeing they are clearing out the wards around Baron. They may be going for this Baron attempt. It looks like that's exactly what they're going to do, getting a lot of damage out on the Baron. And they also have the safety of the secure from Cho'Gath, although the well-timed Xerath bolt could take it down. Xerath getting pulled directly over the wall and just decimated. Zed ulting over the wall as there is sight there, getting chased down a little bit by Amumu, getting some Teemo streams, taking some damage. But then we see Amumu going down immediately, and Sona died somewhere in there. I guess I missed that. And we see Teemo and Israel running back off the base. But with Baron and with a full team, this may be the end of the game here.
Cho'Gath can just tank that tower forever, pretty much at this point.
And we do see Cho'Gath just sitting there tanking the tower. Blitzhook going after Teemo but not connecting. Killing off that Teemo shroom there with the oracles on Cho. There goes the inhibitor. Looks like the wave's gonna go down. And Teemo running around with those home guard speed. Sitting on the towers, they're gonna try to clear out these creeps, but it's not looking like it's gonna be a whole lot. Damage coming out from Swain. Teemo gets killed. And it looks like this is gonna be the end of the game here. Sony gets pulled off a fountain and knocked out by Blitzcrank, followed by a rupture onto Ezreal. Xerath coming in trying to do everything that he can, but it looks like that goes the Nexus, and there goes the game, making it 2-0 to the Arab Legion.
And the Arab Legion will sweep this set.
Yeah, we just saw a lot of just huge control from the Arab Legion, taking a lot of advantage out of that bot lane with the aggressive lanes from the Leona and the Blitzcrank, just causing the AD carry to snowball. As we can see, once again, their AD carry, Luna Knight, did have the most kills on his team, and just getting that advantage and running with it, getting control in the jungle, getting a huge, massive goal advantage, and just winning the game. Oh, someone's asking if we can get a graph of the damage details.
Yep, I'm trying. Here, I'll go to the graph. That'll be better. Damage Delta champions. With Xerath doing the most damage out of everyone.
By quite a good amount.
And he had a high amount of poke, and that's honestly to be expected from Xerath. He gets a lot of those sniping kills. He pushes the lanes back, and that's his job.
Right, that Xerath was getting a lot of poke out, and he was stalling the game a lot, trying to save his team. Just every time that they came in for a push, we just saw Xerath shooting lines and lines of damage down to the enemy team, just trying to stall them, killing the creeps as much as he could, but in the end, really not enough to make up for all the other shortcomings in the team. Lanes being lost in bot and top, not really winning in the mid lane, and then the jungle also getting counter-jungled. The Amumu just suffering heavily under that Cho'Gath's reign.
Have to agree with you there. There's a lot of good teamwork on blue team. They stayed together. They pushed objectives. I believe they got every single dragon in that game.
Yeah, I think they did, and that just sometimes it goes without saying. And you have with the smite and the ultimate, you just have massive control of jungle objectives, and it becomes really difficult for anyone to try to take that away from you.
Well, I do believe that is our stream.
Alright, well, it was fun.
'Twas indeed.
And we saw some very exciting games.
That we did. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you did enjoy the stream tonight. Once again, that is Luke. I am Frank. Enjoy your evening.